if you get that water in that pan, you want boiling water, and then some wine, probably about half a cup of the white wine, a bay leaf, some salt. If you had some lemons, you could throw it in too. Because what we're going to do is a recipe called shrimp on sand. I know it sounds gritty, but it really isn't. And it uses
nori.
Nori, yes, seaweed. So you're probably wondering, how is this Italian? Well, it is because I had this dish in Amalfi, and I was determined that I was going to make it at home because I thought it sounded so interesting. So here's how it goes. We've got the nori, and here it is just all crumbled up. You know, all we did was crumble it up. You can do that with a scissors or a knife. And you want to mix this now with some semolina, this is durum, finer grind of this. So this is semolina, and that's a finer grind of semolina. I have a tablespoon of tapioca starch, which we know all comes from the cassava plant, right? And if it wasn't for Christopher Columbus bringing that back to Europe, nobody would know about it because that's what the Indians in the New World were eating. So you mix this all up, you add your nori, you mix that all together, and then you add enough olive oil. I actually had to go back in the kitchen of this restaurant to get this recipe. And you mix in enough olive oil just, you know, to make that kind of pasty.
Yeah, just, almost like wet sand.
Yeah, right. Very pasty. And then what you do, you're going to bake this. So once it's pasty like that, I just take it out onto a sheet of parchment paper. Okay? Just like that. Now, I realize that this does not look very appealing right now, but believe me, it's going to be. And I just spread this out, because all you want to do is get this hard before you bake it. So you spread it out into like a square, maybe 4 or 5 inches. And then I just put another piece of parchment paper over just to kind of, you know, pat it down. Put it on a little bake sheet like that, and I put it in the freezer.
Okay.
So you can put that in the freezer. So you can find these sheets in your grocery store. So that's the sand part. And then after you bake it, after it's frozen, you bake it, and it looks like this. Looks like this. Okay? So now it's rather sandy. So you can see.
Nice.
And this is going to be part of our salad.
Okay.
So it has a nice texture. So you just crumble it up. We're going to put this on the salad afterwards. So I'm going to, don't want to use that for that. I want to get some lemon juice in a bowl with just some coarse salt. So this is a cold salad. So you need the juice of 2 lemons. And then I need,
a
shallot, if you can mince that up for me. And this is going to be our dressing with raw vegetables. So there's the lemon juice. Then we want, I've got the salt in there. I want some olive oil. So I would say about a half a cup of olive oil goes in, extra virgin olive oil. And with this, I like to have some capers. I love capers, especially with shrimp.
Is that enough for you, Marianne?
Yes, that's great. So I put some capers in there, and those can go right in here. That goes in, good. Now, I would make this early on in the day, so all of these vegetables will be nicely marinated.
Anything else you need from me? No? Good?
Let's see. You can get those shrimp drained because they're looking good, and we should actually get those out of the water. So that's our mixture. I give this a little bit of pepper, just a smidge of pepper right there. And maybe just a little more hit of olive oil. Okay, so now once you have that, we have, besides the zucchini, julienne, we have some red pepper, and we have some carrots. So all of that gets dumped into a bowl. Why don't you throw that in? All this gets dumped into a bowl. Isn't that pretty? It's so nice and colorful. It reminds me of Amalfi.
Yeah. Some vinaigrette.
And now the vinaigrette, a little bit of that goes in, not too much. Mix that all around.
The shrimp.
Here comes the shrimp. Take that bay leaf out. Keep going. And here's the rest of the vinaigrette. So let's
I like that. I like that technique of using the hot shrimp.
Yeah. Get that all in. So that's how you do shrimp on sand.